Hello and welcome to China 24, the latest news and views from around the country. I'm Zhou reporting from Beijing. Today, rescue work continues following the powerful earthquake that killed 5 people in Sichuan province. And Chinese Olympic swimmer Sun Yang finishes serving a ban that was imposed last July after he failed a drug test. These stories and more on China 24. One of the top leaders of Communist Party of China calls for more efforts on internet protection as a week of activities on cybersecurity kicks off in Beijing. 3 days after a deadly earthquake struck Sichuan province, authorities explain what efforts are being deployed to care for the 100,000 people affected. Media reports reveal Chinese Olympic swimmer Sun Yang was banned for 3 months for failing a drug test back in May. And Palace Museum unveiled its new dragon and phoenix ambassadors. But how well were they received by the public? We will find out. But we'll begin our program with China's very first National Cybersecurity Awareness Week, which kicked off today in Beijing. Liu Yinshan, a member of the Politburo Standing Committee of the CPC Central Committee and a top official on Internet security, attended the opening ceremony and delivered a speech. Well, in his speech, Liu emphasized the need to raise public awareness on cybersecurity and put in greater effort to promote the rule of law online. He also noted that China should actively participate in international dialogue and cooperation on cybersecurity and take measures to resolve outstanding issues. These efforts, he added, would help establish a transparent multilateral system on internet governance. Well, National Cybersecurity Week begins on Monday for the first time here in this country. The week of activities kicks off in Beijing with an exhibition on cybersecurity, an issue of growing importance. More go online. Zhang Nini reports.
The Internet is everywhere. With growing reliance on web services for work and at play, being connected also increases the risk of cyber fraud, something not too uncommon these days, with a multitude of hackers and viruses lurking around the web.
The War of Ship is an interactive exhibition of what can happen when network users let their guard down. For example, if you log into your email account and bank websites with insecure public Wi-Fi, your personal information could be easily stolen by any ill-intentioned third party, and this could lead to computer crime and identity theft. So the main purpose of this exhibition is to raise the security awareness for general public.
And Chinese antivirus company Qihu 360 knows too well the risks and vulnerability that web users have to bear, advising precautions online.
About 600 million smartphone users and 400 million computer users have installed our antivirus software. Therefore, we have a real-time account of cybersecurity threats for the individuals. The risks can threaten our finances, identity, and privacy. Therefore, we have a shared responsibility to address it.
And that shared responsibility is also what China's internet giant Tencent Holdings is advocating for. Already it shares its network security system among industry partners. The database of safe websites alerts web users against malicious sites. The company also set up an NGO to help web users to track cyber fraud and recover losses. It says the web ecosystem could be better coordinated.
No company can guarantee absolute security for customers. Therefore, we need cooperation between companies and the government. We should also harmonize the different standards in the industry, for example, on Wi-Fi access and website certification. I also hope there could be more policy support in the future.
The exhibition keeps the public updated on safe practices and cyber threats, be it compromised privacy on Wi-Fi or a fake QR code. Visitors can also test their security knowledge. Organizers hope the interactive exhibition could help to raise general awareness and help society better deal with unforeseen cyber issues in the future. Zhang Yini, CCTV, Beijing.
Well, actually, China has the world's largest internet user base. According to the China Internet Network Information Center, by June of this year, China had already 632 million online users. That's just under 40 7% of the entire population. Well, other data are also quite telling. China's mobile internet users number close to 530 million. Well, last year, online retail sales passed $300 billion. Over 10% of Chinese internet users use online banking. Given these numbers, cybersecurity became part of the country's national security strategy in February this year. So far, over 40 countries have announced their similar measures to ward against cyber threats. And for some talks about cybersecurity in this country, we're now joined in the studio by Ms. Tang Lan. She is Deputy Director of the Institute of Information and Social Development Studies at the China Institute for Contemporary International Relations. Welcome, Ms. Tang. So in this age of interconnectedness and big data mining, what do you think is the biggest cyber threat?
I think definitely the biggest threat may be the leak of information. You can call it the data, the leak of the data. For the country, we care about how to protect our sensitive information or the national secret. But for our ordinary people, I think that in how to protect our privacy will be the primary concern. So we can imagine that our name, address, and credit card number, even all of the online activities, such as what you prefer to buy online, and where you go to spend your vacation, and who are your friends, and what about your social relationships, something like that, and that will be exposed to the third eye, I call it. So eyesight more depend on the internet or on the smart devices. I think the risk will be increased.
People are all saying there is a disconnect between the reality and the legislation. So how do you think we can best deal with these threats, and how urgent is it to have more laws and regulations to control and regulate the internet?
I think that the combat the cybersecurity threat may be systematic engineering. So I think there is many different levels work to do. But I think the most emergency for China may be the rule of law in the cyberspace. I think that so far we still sort of the law about how to protect privacy. So I think that there are three levels of meaning. So if we have the law, we can have a clear definition of what is the privacy. And secondary, we can clarify the responsibility of the companies, or you can say the service providers, what kind of the information that they can collect and how to use them or to analyze them. And the third level, I think that the government can be to punish the criminal. I think that the law.
When do we think we will have such kind of legislation to protect our citizens and companies? When?
I think so far we have many kinds of regulations published by the department in charge of the cybersecurity. I think that the law is on the schedule.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Tang, for your take on this. And now let's turn to the latest on the deadly earthquake that struck a county in southwest China, Sichuan province, on Saturday. Well, 5 people were killed and over 50 injured as a result. The quake struck Kangding County in the Tibetan Autonomous Prefecture of Garzi at a depth of 18 kilometers. Authorities held a press briefing on Monday and provided detailed information on the extent of the damage and relief work. They explained that over 100,000 people had been affected by the drought. Of those, more than 6,000 had to be relocated. The damage on infrastructure was relatively minimal, but over 25,000 homes did sustain damage, and local authorities have allocated 7 million yuan, or nearly 800 tents, for disaster relief. Over 800 medical workers have been deployed to the quake zone. But the response to the quake in Sichuan has been swift and efficient. As Li Cheng reports, medical and search workers have joined hands to treat the injured and care for the tens of thousands of affected.
It's day 3 since the quake rattled Kangding County. A further 8 patients have been sent to the local hospital with minor injuries, bringing the total number of injured to 57. One of them is in critical condition. Extra medical supplies have been shipped in, and doctors say the patients are receiving the care they need.
Our hospital is fully capable of treating all the patients.
Meanwhile, 2 drones have been dispatched to gather clearer images of villages in the quick-hit areas. Initial assessments have found over 2,600 houses severely damaged during the quake. The houses are being checked one by one to ensure none pose a threat to residents. The local government has sent tents, quilts, and food to affected area, with thicker tents on the way to fend off the cold. Field kitchens have also arrived at the temporary shelters, offering people hot meals. Meanwhile, communication lines are almost all functional, with only 2 base stations still needing repairs. Li Qiong, CCTV.
For more on that, we're joined on the phone by reporter Liu Yang, who has been covering from Kangding County in Sichuan Province. Well, good evening, Liu Yang. Tell us what the situation is like right now where you are.
Hello, Zhou Yue. Our team left the epicenter of the quake a couple hours ago, and now, as you just mentioned, we have just arrived at Kangding County. The place actually has been severely damaged by the 6.3 magnitude earthquake. Today, the local authorities promised to deliver 8,000 cotton-made shelters to the quake zone. Local authorities say those cotton-made shelters designed specifically for alpine frigid area for Sichuan province. And we know that the temperature dropped to -6 last night. So this is certainly bring many hopes for many local residents that were affected by the quake in the area. As regards to the relief efforts, in the past 48 hours, local authorities and the local armed police forces have made tremendous efforts on building shelters, helping residents evacuate from the dangerous area. In total, 900 medical professionals joined the rescue efforts, and 7 million yuan delivered to the quake zone. In the next few days, experts say they will, start to access the damages to buildings, school buildings, bridges, and the roadways, and see what their next step will be. So back to you.
All right. Thank you, Liu Yang, for your reporting from Kangding in Sichuan Province. And you're watching China 24. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, Chinese Vice Premier calls for quicker growth of the general aviation sector as the country prepares to open its skies to civilian aircraft. And swimming champion Sun Yang finishes serving a 3-month ban for failed drug test in May. But will the mitigating circumstances?
Shipping hub in Northeast Asia, reaching the world from Northeast China, port of Dandong.
Wuhan, Jingzhou, Xianing, Suizhou, Hubei, where the Yangtze River culture flourished.
See the world in color. This is Asia. Asia means business.
Welcome back. Xinhua News Agency reports that Chinese Olympic swimmer Sun Yang has finished serving a 3-month ban. He was banned in July after failing a drug test in May. During China's National Swimming Championship, Sun tested positive for the stimulant trimetazidine, a prescription drug for a particular heart condition. Well, the medicine was added to the World Anti-Doping Agency's banned list in January this year. Sun said he used it for medical reasons and had been unaware that it was included on the list. Sun has been fined 5,000 yuan and stripped of the gold medal he'd won during the championships. Sun won the 400 and 1500 meter freestyle events of the 2012 London Games and also has 5 World Championship golds to his name. And for more insight into this case, we talked to Zhao Jian, who is also the deputy head. We're now joined on the phone by our senior sports commentator, Mr. Yan Qiang, on the line. Yan Qiang?
Hello?
Yan Qiang, what is your initial response to this? Do you think it is an honest mistake on Sun Yang's case, or is there more to this?
I think it's more complicated than an honest mistake, and I was not shocked by this news because the rumor has been circling around for months. But it was quite weird that this piece of news broke out at this time. According to some insiders of the swimming industry, people say that in the last spring, it was been reported to the authority that he might have some small trespass, in this kind of doping rumors. But it was still quite strange that it happened at this time.
We know that China actually have stringent anti-doping rules and regulations, but offenses still happen. It's still a mouse and cat game. What are the challenges?
I mean, it is simply impossible for you to eradicate this so-called mistake or illness from professional sport and Olympic sports because the advantage is just too big. Everyone would try their best to gain just a small margin of competitive advantage, so they could use all kinds of methods. I think only through a very more publicated way, to motivate the media, the public, the audience, to have a wider network of governing this issue could we reach a better result.
All right. Thank you, Yan Qiang, for your take on this. And you're not watching China 24. And for more insight, and you're not watching China 24, we'll be back in a short while. When we come back, there is more news on China 24. Okay, we look now at China's general aviation industry. Well, Vice Premier Ma Kai has called for quicker efforts to develop general aviation so that it can meet public demand and contribute to the economy. Well, speaking at a meeting on low-altitude airspace management, Ma urged a fast and healthy growth of the general aviation industry. The remark comes as the country plans to open its airspace below 1,000 meters in 2015. A pilot program is currently underway in 10 major cities with reforms on simplifying the approval procedure and requirements of low-altitude flights. General aviation refers to all civil aviation operations other than scheduled air services. And now for more about the reform of China's low-altitude airspace management, we're now joined in the studio by my colleague Wu Haojun. Good evening, Haojun.
Good evening.
Well, opening up the country's low-altitude airspace will, of course, give a huge boost to aviation industry in general. But how are things looking now in this area?
Well, Zoe, before we delve into that, a bit of ABCs here. First, when we talk about general aviation, we're talking about civil, non-scheduled air services, as you mentioned, ranging from helicopters to private jets. Here in China, these aircraft can only fly at low altitude, below 1,000 meters. Now, according to the Civil Aviation Administration of China, the Chinese mainland has 226 general aviation companies and close to 1,800 general aircraft. And to give you a sense of how underdeveloped the sector is here in China, as well as how much potential it has in the United States. General aviation provides more than 1% of the country's GDP, accounting for 1.3 million jobs in professional services and manufacturing. At the moment, China is playing catch-up, but it's expected that by 2020, the country will have over 5,000 general aircraft, representing a new economic engine in an industry with a potential market demand of $15.5 billion.
So you are saying there is a huge growth potential, but what are the key limits and challenges on Chinese general aviation? Why it hasn't been developing as fast as we wished?
Well, first and foremost, as we all know, restrictions on the use of low-altitude airspace have limited any growth of the industry. But that's not the only culprit. Experts say even if low-altitude restrictions were lifted, infrastructure shortcomings would still keep many aircraft grounded. According to the Civil Aviation Administration of China, currently there are only 365 general aviation airports, 300 temporary landing sites, and one oil refinery producing general aviation fuel in China. And even for the much larger commercial aviation sector, problems abound. According to a 2013 flight stats report, China's airports rank among the worst in the world in terms of flight delays. 82% of flights at Beijing's International Airport and 71% of flights out of Shanghai did not leave on time last year. A testament, some say, to the industry's current inability to handle large flight volumes. Back to you, Zoya.
All right, thank you very much for your reporting. Let's talk about this. For more insight, we're now joined on the phone by Mr. Zhao Yifei. He is the Associate Dean of the Air Traffic Management Institute at the Civil Aviation University of China. Well, Mr. Zhao, why is China opening its skies for general aviation at this particular time? What conditions have changed to make this possible as compared with several years ago?
It's a good question, but I must correct that. We now, from the official ways, we don't call that open up. We call that reform or low-altitude airspace management. To be honest, this reformation is a very complex system. So need many years to prepare that. In around some busy airport, busy military airport, it's very crowded here. So many ways, such as update the facilities, training staff, and also redesign some new systems like airspace and air route system and low-altitude air route system. Need time to plan to that. So it take, as I have known that it at least take several years to prepare for that. And during this period, I think the first steps, the planning phase has been finished. So it's and also some the tests have been evaluated in some airports, such as Zhuhai Airport and Sanya, and some facility has been tested, some equipment has been used. So it's just the right time to put forward these reformations. So I think it's a reason to put forward to do that now.
As you said, if it is the reform of low-altitude airspace in the future, what will that mean for the aviation industry?
Yes, I think it's a big challenge and also it's a very good opportunity for the aviation industries. As we have noticed that some airspace, some villagers, we can give example in Alaska, American Alaska. In some small villages, it's far from the hub cities. You need to take the only way to reach to large cities go by aircraft. So we can imagine that we also have very large areas in China. We also need some aircraft to afford some traffic transportation task. Beside the railway, beside the vehicle, beside the car, we need aircraft to do that. So we think that if the low-altitude airspace management has been finished, so we need the public need more aircraft and more aircraft to afford these transportations. Also, with this increase of the aircraft, so some ground service stations like some flight service stations, fixed base operations, some ground support equipment are also needed. They all need people to do that. They all need a new facility, new equipment to do that. And also, with this change, some very busy aircraft. Some very busy airport can be share their traffic to some small airport. small airport, and this small airport use small aircraft to afford some transportation tasks. So we think we need to expect a system change of our transportation systems, not only aviation, but also some whole transportation systems.
Okay, more possibilities and more efficiency for the transportation. Well, thank you very much, Professor Zhao. That's Professor Zhao Yufei from the Civil Aviation University of China. You're now watching China 24, and we will take a short break and come back in a little while. The highway linking Sichuan and Tibet is long and beautiful, but how is the epic journey kept safe for travelers? And the Palace Museum unveils its new legendary ambassadors, Dragon Drang and Phoenix Mei Mei.
The Yellow River, cradle of civilization. Remembering the children of the Yellow Emperor. Birthplace of a nation. China's spiritual home, Henan.
Come to a place where the most memorable holiday moments are made and share them with the world. From fascinating eco-adventures and exotic holiday destinations to exciting homestays, the fun and excitement never ends. Discover heritage sites steeped in local culture and rich artistic traditions in a land blessed with multiracial harmony. It's Visit Malaysia Year 2014. There's so much to share.
International news with the global perspective. World Insight is the only program with analysis from around the world, with lively discussions and feature reports. Tune in each week for World Insight, only on CCTV News.
An ancient land, ready for change.
And I'm proud to be a woman. How this all works.
Tradition and modernity.
We can't stop to prove it. We can do it. We've seen them live.
Hopes and challenges. We bring you the faces of Africa.
Well, the Sichuan-Tibet Highway is known as a road full of stunning views, winding through 21 mountains and crossing 14 major rivers. But these same natural wonders can make it a risky journey for travelers. CCTV News is going to introduce the highway for 3 days starting Monday. As our reporter Shi Wenjing reports, several construction projects are underway to ensure the route is both scenic and safe.
The Sichuan-Tibet Highway has become famous for amazing views like this. But twists and sharp turns like this and this are just as common, and travelers should always be prepared for.
You can just tell from the camera how bad the road condition. The car is jumping. It will take us 2.5 hours to climb up this mountain. But things will become better. The road condition will become better once the tunnel is completed.
The planned tunnel is one of the many projects underway aimed at providing a smoother and safer trip along the Sichuan-Tibet Highway. Once it opens, travelers will be able to avoid dangerous turns, and their travel times through this mountain pass will be cut to just 1 hour. With an elevation that's over 4,000 meters and temperatures that reach as low as minus 22 degrees Celsius, this mountain is no easy construction site.
We started 4 years ago. During that period, more than 3,500 workers quit due to bad weather conditions. The rocks in this mountain also make it difficult for construction because they easily turn to rock powder. so the project has progressed very slow, only 50 centimeters at a time.
Its special geological features have also demanded other additional measures.
We use the radar system to detect the vibrations in the rock layers, so that we can know in advance which parts may go wrong and make plans accordingly.
The tunnel scheduled to open in April is not the only project along the highway designed to improve or completely replace the previous path. This bridge, for example, is located at the most dangerous section of road. Only one vehicle is allowed to cross at a time. Its maximum weight is 20 tons. If anything falls off the side, it will be quickly swallowed up by the river below. A new bridge will be tested next February. It's expected to have a maximum weight of 400 tons, 20 times higher than its predecessor. These projects, of course, will help travelers enjoy the ride without any risks. Shunjing, CCTV, report from Sichuan-Tibet Highway.
That's quite a ride there. And it may have been a night for the music industry top stars at the AMAs, but for Chinese fans, it was a homegrown band that stole the show. Well, the song Little Apple has been topping the charts across China for months. It was written and performed by the Chopstick Brothers and has become such a hit that the brothers were asked to perform it at the American Music Awards in Los Angeles. And our Hollywood reporter met up with the singers after rehearsals.
Is America ready for the Chopstick Brothers? The Chinese duo Xiao Yang and Wang Taili are the creative team behind Little Apple, a song that's become a sensation in China since its debut last summer. With its bouncy tune, simple lyrics, and outlandish settings, the music video for Little Apple is a viral hit and has been played 823 million times on China's major music and video streaming sites. The origin of the song is as simple as the beat.
In the spring of 2012, I finished writing Little Apple. It didn't take me very long to write it because the process was fun. Of course, we changed the notes several times, but I like to dance with it because the song delivers a concept of simple happiness.
Making it onto prime time on the American Music Awards with such A-list stars as Taylor Swift, Mary J. Blige, and One Direction is a big deal, and not just for the Chopsticks Brothers. This is the first time a Chinese song will be showcased on the global stage. An ingenious inspiration for the song came from healthy choices.
I keep a very healthy lifestyle. An apple a day keeps the doctor away, so I have one apple every day. That's how I thought about having Little Apple as the title. Little Apple keeps us healthy and happy. Our co-workers, families, boyfriends, girlfriends, everybody can be our Little Apple. I think that was a good name.
Becoming #1 in China is not an easy task, and the Chopstick Brothers would not rest on their laurels. Coming to the United States to do the American Music Awards has been a lot of work.
The challenge is very big. AMA has a very professional and top-notch choreography team. Little Apple might not be something they've never done before. When the producer got our song and music video, he said the audience probably never would understand what we want to do here. It's refreshing, but very challenging. Plus, we're very new to the stage, and it's our first time performing for Western audiences. We were under lots of pressure, but we had lots of good chemistry with our choreographers. They found a way to make our dance moves very exaggerated and straightforward, which made them more powerful.
Undaunted by the work and inspired by the worldwide audience watching the award show, the Chopstick Brothers have said that Western music producers really like their style, and even fans from around the world have created their versions of the hit single.
We've met 2 music producers in the U.S. They think our style is very refreshing and we should keep it, which is very rare to the American market. Also, we got lots of parody videos and sing-along soundtracks from fans all over the world. They are full of creative ideas. The translated English lyrics are really funny, too.
The Chopstick Brothers are neither brothers nor born to be musicians, but they say they have an opportunity to change the way the West looks at Chinese artists, and that challenge is something they're willing to do.
An American friend told me most of Americans think China is a country of good manners and artworks with depth. Some of them might think we are too serious. However, Little Apple changed that perception. They realize that Chinese have a great sense of humor and we enjoy all kinds of music. I think this is a very good start for Americans to be more open-minded to Chinese pop music.
Maybe China found its own Gangnam Style. From Beijing parks to Shanghai skyscrapers, and in Guangzhou factories to karaoke rooms in Macau, people are singing Little Apple. A song apparently so catchy, it is even winning over the American public. CCTV News, Hollywood.
And finally, we want to end our program in Xiamen, in southeast China's Fujian province, where the Palace Museum unveiled in 2 brand new mascots. Well, donning Qing Dynasty costumes, the designs for Zhuang and Mei Mei originate from the traditional Chinese symbol of dragon and the phoenix. The names of the mascots also bear special meaning. Zhuang means strong in Mandarin, represents the gorgeous forbidden city. Or Mei, the word for beautiful, stands for the more 1.8 million treasures collected within its walls. Sadly, the mascots did not receive unanimous applause, with some netizens saying, well, Mei Mei looked more like a penguin than a phoenix. And who knows what a phoenix looks like. And with that, we come to the end of this program. If you want to get in touch, you can email us at china24@cctv.com, or you can find us on Sina Weibo at CCTV China 24. And now, the latest weather update.
Greetings and welcome to your world weather. I'm Bo Yi-Poon. Well, for the overall picture here in China, we are going to see wet weather in the central and eastern regions of China certainly weaken over the next couple of days. Moreover, we have a powerful cold front coming into Xinjiang in northwest China. That's going to be switching up the weather over there, which has been abnormally warm for much of this November. First off, in northern Xinjiang, we will see lots of snowfall Tuesday, along with some strong winds. We may even see heavy snow or a blizzard, and they're going to be accompanied by temperature drops significantly on Tuesday for northern Xinjiang and expanding eastward on Wednesday. Taking a closer look at places like Urumqi. Day highs from 8 degrees Monday are going to be dropping below freezing Tuesday, about -4, possibly lower for Wednesday, and pretty much steady through Tuesday. -7 degree day high, well below the average for late November's day high, which is about a -1 degree digit. Now taking a look at our business and travel outlook, Urumqi -7 degree day high Wednesday, -14 day low. Stay warm. Xining, Lanzhou, Yinchuan, single digit day high. Xi'an, light rainfall. Now for us here in the Huabei region, we are expecting fog and haze to be an issue through much of this week. A little bit of wet weather on Tuesday. It's going to pick up with more wet weather on Wednesday as the cold front presses eastward. Rain or snow for places like Shanxi. And finally, our business and travel outlook for our region, Jiangzhou and Shijiazhuang, light rainfall. Taiyuan and Hoha, chance of snowfall. Beijing, Tianjin, about 9 degree day high, partly cloudy. Well, you all take care out there, and I'll see you next time.